Hi everyone, it's Killshot from 99 Gaming's The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 12, complete recap. We are fresh off a whole lot of streams from yesterday, 5 different streams on different channels, and I know a lot of you were up late as we did the reaction video. Today we're going to go a little bit further into the particular episode and talk about some of the events that I think were a little bit shocking and also that we didn't get the time to really dig into last night. I want to thank all of you for being here. I see Scott has already posted a super chat. He's going to have a question a little bit later on. Valar in the house wants to say what's up to the army, myself, Steph, Emmy, Kells, and Sweet Enforcer. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much. Appreciate everybody being here, and hopefully you've had a chance to sort of think about last night's episode. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get right out of the gates here. From a scale of 1 to 10, give me your quick rating. If you're watching the playback at home, give me a quick rating. I thought the show was phenomenal. I'm going to give it well into the 9s. One of the best shows I've seen in a long time. We had all the elements. We had the story. We had the showdown. We had the car chase. Everything. And then I think it wasn't like a filler episode. It had some teeth to it. It had some really good stuff. Look at these numbers. These numbers are awesome. Couple 8s in there. A couple people are like, yeah, it's okay. Hardcore fans. Rial, Philomena, Raven, hardcore fans. But a lot of people rated this really, really high. So I also apologize for using the close-up of Simon in the reaction video last night. I just wanted to get the full effect of everything that was going on because that was creepy. You got those slow-mos and those zoom-in facial pics with the music, a little bit crazy, So let me go through a couple things here. The close-ups is something that we talked about, but also Negan's conversation with Dwight. So I know we talked about that. This is Tech saying, Tech, the fight scene was amazing. It was. You do have to shelf some of that. Rick's had so many chances to really get back at Negan, and I think that's the fun. If he's not going to kill Negan, they have to make it a little bit comical, and he did. Here you can see Rick. He takes aim, but he doesn't make the shot. Rick, we're going to have to get you a little bit more shooting lessons. It's been so long since he was a cop, and I guess he just misses. Rick is not the person you're going to send out doing the hunting, that's for sure, because Michonne can hit a deer, Rick cannot. So let's dive into the Simon conversation with Dwight. So Simon and Dwight there, we talked a little bit about this last night. Do you think that Negan was behind the putting Simon and Dwight in the car together, or was that totally fabricated by Simon? Is that such a small detail that Negan didn't care, but it was a bigger deal to Simon? I'm going to read a few comments here. So we got Pieces, Casey F., Tobin McLeod, all saying, it's Simon. It was his own doing. Negan probably didn't care as much about the details. I guess Negan, could have just had Dwight on a motorcycle and they would have been fine. What about the conversation between Dwight and Negan? Suspicious or just typical fishing of Negan? And the reason I ask this is because sometimes you can see when he outright knows something, but he did say, okay, good job. And it was kind of the way he said good job. I almost felt he was reassured to a certain degree. Let me just not trust you, and okay, good job. All right, well, I'm going to catch you up to speed real quick, Dwighty boy, I think he went on to say. Mambo55 says, just fishing. Tobin McLeod said he probably knows. Oh, I love it. Lieutenant. Oh, you know what? I've got to stop with this super chat and just give Crawfish a little bit of props there. I love the name change. Lieutenant Crawfish from the 999 Army. So you're taking it a whole different level. Stormtrooper Academy. He's been missing since 1977. You would think he was a little bit better, though. Great comment. Scott, I missed your question somewhere along the way. Here we go. I got it. Scott Kernan with a previous super chat says, kills, is it possible now that Maggie has the instructions to make important inventions for the community that Eugene might leave or die. Great, great question. So team, I'm going to pose this to you. Could Eugene leave or die, or could Eugene actually be the architect in the future behind the blueprint? You still need somebody to put it together. So let me throw that out to the group, and then we're going to get to Ultra Groove's Super Chat in 1 second. We got a real quick follow-up right after this one. Rial says, Eugene ain't leaving? Sheila Beasley says, Eugene put it together. Wayne Floyd, the architect. Oh, I like that. Eugene is going to give some pickles to Midge. I don't think Eugene's sharing his pickles. Too much moisture? Sebastian Carpio says he's staying. All right, and I do have a follow-up. Somebody brought this up last night, too. Ultra Groove, kills. Did you see the look on Dwight's face when Simon declared expungement? I did. And that even carried through with the opening minutes from this week. I don't know if you guys caught that. There were 3 or 4 scenes where Dwight is just in amazement. Like, I can't let this guy get away with this stuff. Even when they roll up on the hilltop, you see Dwight with the crossbow, and he just looks like he's so hesitant to even walk out there. So let me retract. Now, I guess not retract. Open up. I'm going to open up this can of worms. I don't know any other way to say it, because there, I think it was Chris in one of the streams who said that Rick will get shot. Now, I didn't say yes or no. I just said the wound in the stomach, I could not see an arrow. But seeing Dwight with the crossbow and knowing that Rick is at Hilltop, I'm going to give this group a chance to weigh in. Is Rick's wound from Dwight's crossbow? And Chris, as I said, you very well may be right. I'm not going to discount it. But maybe Dwight tries to save Rick. Maybe he misses. I mean, Dwight does not have the best aim. A few more yeses in there. But I do want to kind of leave it as an open possibility because we don't want to rule out anything. Rick is going to get wounded somehow. I agree with that, Petey, but I just wanted to bring it up. I do think it's going to be the finale. Because I just don't see Rick walking around with that hole in his side for 4 episodes. Chris is like, I hope I'm right. You know, I'm going to be the first person to admit that you're right, because that would be an epic prediction that early on. So it's kind of a 2-part Super Chat follow-up, because Chris had mentioned that, and then I do want to bring back in Ultra Groove Super Chat, the look on Dwight's face when he said expungement. So back to the group. Because of that look on Dwight's face, because he is reluctant, do you think that Dwight is going to do something heroic to save the people, or save a few people at Hilltop? And if so, what is it that you think Dwight could possibly do? And yes, if you have not seen the opening minutes or the preview from this week, there's going to be some fighting. All right. So I just want to see where the group stands, because we will start to stray a little bit where different predictions will come out. But for the most part, I think people still believe Dwight has a chance to redeem himself, and to redeem himself publicly, which I think is really, really important. Okay, I saw the opening minutes of this week's episode. It's something we'll talk about later on in the week. I know we're still recapping. But yes, someone did mention this yesterday and said it was on, I guess, Spoiling Dad's fan page, that there was a picture of Gavin and he would be in this week's episode. And it didn't seem totally believable at the time, like, okay, Gavin got stabbed. But yes, it is a Morgan hallucination. Gavin will be in this week's episode, episode 13. I saw the official minutes. It's out there. It's floating on YouTube, so you can find it. And also, if you go to the AMC site and you play the teaser for this week, at the very end of the teaser, it's so funny. It shows the picture of Gavin. It's definitely an error with their site. But when you click on it, it says, not available for viewing yet. I was looking over the AMC site because I wanted to watch the teasers over again. It's the second teaser. It's the one with Rick loading his gun. And if you go to the site, you can't see it. But if you watch the 35, 40-second teaser for this week, when you get to the very end of it, it'll pop up on AMC's screen. And then it says, it's a picture of Gavin with a hole in his throat. I swear to you. And you go to click on it, and it said, preview not available for next week. Morgan is in front of the truck. And he looks over, he sees Gavin, he has the stick, and Gavin starts talking to him. And he's almost telling him, like it should have been you. You should have been the one to kill me, not let Henry. So I think that's weighing on Morgan of why he's going to leave. I think that is what's pushing him. And then he goes over the stick and he tries to kill a dead Gavin, not making this up. And he realizes he's gone, and then he goes over and they start blowing the horn and sort of warning everybody that the Hilltop, they warn everybody at the Hilltop that the Saviors are on their way. Amber T, thank you so much for that super chat. And Amber, hopefully you have a follow-up question. If so, just type it out normal. My moderators can flag it, let me know if there's anything that we can talk about that you want to discuss. But appreciate, oh, here we go. It's fine, Amber. You may have just hit it before it went through, but go ahead and type your question. We're here for you. I'm going to give it 1 second, so let me see what her super chat comment is. That's a great point, Rosie. They show Gavin, but not Glenn or Abraham. Well, we got to see Abraham. So Amber says, I thought Jadis was in the back seat and Rick and Michonne were driving. Was I mistaken? Yeah, it was Jadis driving. Jadis was driving, leaning back, and popped Negan with the pistol while she was driving. At least that's, you know what, I'll go watch. Oh, that's wrong, Chris. Jadis has an Uber driver. Yeah, I think from what I saw, she's sort of leaning back. The wheel is out of the screen, but I think she's kind of leaning back with one hand, with her hand on the wheel, and then looks over and then bam. Because her body is a little bit turned where her eyes are on the road. I'll go back to confirm that just in case, but I'm pretty sure it was just her. I don't want to get too much into what Jadis may do and what Negan may do. That is going to be a stream for later on in the week. It'll either be tomorrow night or Wednesday. And in fact, it might be tomorrow. Just a couple announcements on the channel. There are some people new here. just want to give you a little bit of schedule. So Monday nights we do the full recap. Tuesday and Wednesday will be Walking Dead topics for this coming week's episode, and that's why on Monday I don't like to get too much into what may happen or who's going to do what, because we get plenty of time to talk about that stuff. And then on Thursday we'll have a little bit of spoiler information out there. Friday still up in the air, but then Sunday is our big day. Sunday we do Walking Dead Junkies at noon. We do the countdown at 8, and then we do the Walking Dead reactions after Talking Dead. Someone had asked, is next week a 2-hour episode? It is not. But I don't think we're going to wait and stream at midnight. So this Sunday's stream could look a little bit differently, because Walking Dead comes on at 9, and then Terror comes on at 10, and then Talking Dead will come on at 11. So next week will probably be a special stream time for us. I think we're going to stream at 10:15. Why? Terror is on. So if you're a big fan of that show, then you'll probably miss our stream. But I'm not going to. I don't have time to get into another TV show and a discussion of those TV shows, because with Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, and then we're probably going to add another one at some point, maybe Stranger Things or something that people are watching. But it won't be Terror. So just a 1-hour episode next week. All right, so I think we're a little bit caught up. Let's move on to the next part of last night's episode that really jumped out. We can't talk about last night's episode without going back and just revisiting the Rick and Daryl scene, and even the Daryl and Michonne send-off, the goodbye for Rick. So Rick just spending a little bit of time over the graves, reflecting over some of the people that are gone. Daryl does walk up, and I think what's important is Daryl actually starts out talking about, like, you know, I think about the people we lost. It's probably one of his first comments. So he is definitely trying to reason with Rick, or to reach out to Rick. They made a little bit of a joke on Twitter as far as this is the most dialogue Daryl's had in a long time, and it is, because he doesn't say a lot of. Action is louder than words with Daryl. Let's just say it that way. But in a little bit of dialogue, he got Rick's approval. He also offered his hand to Rick. Said, you know, let's do this. And Rick goes, no, I think it's important that we split up. And I think at the very end of that, you could see a small look on Daryl's face, like Rick's basically saying it's okay, and Daryl kind of nods and gives him that acknowledgement. So I would say currently the bond with Daryl and Rick is stronger than ever. It's so strong that Daryl's willing to let Rick go out on his own and take a chance on him dying, where I think Daryl always wants to be there to protect him. And in this situation, he knows that this is something Rick's got to do. Epic Vids 8 with a super chat, and I absolutely agree with you. Andrew Lincoln's acting was great in that scene. I thought Andrew Lincoln did a phenomenal job last night. So Epic Vids, as a follow-up, let's focus on your super chat statement. I want to find out from the group, what do you think was the most notable or the best job of acting last night? Who do you think did the best job? And what scene? So if you think it was Norman Reedus, you think it was Andrew Lincoln, you think it was Michonne, you know, in her situation with Enid, Georgie, Simon, Dwight, you know, there's some of the big focal characters. And Will Saint says, Rick. So give me the person and also give me the scene that you really remember the most, that stuck out the most. Joni Tucker says, Negan, leave her alone. Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan in the fight scene did really, really well. So I don't know if anyone has mentioned this yet. Honestly, I think the best job last night was the dialogue between Simon and Dwight in the truck. I think Simon did the best job. I think he stole it. I think he nailed it last night. Yeah, if you just go back and watch that where, I didn't write it down, but he was basically like, you know, what's your opinion? And Dwight said, we don't get paid to think. And he goes, you're wrong. I value your opinion, Dwight. You have been on both sides of the iron. Top guy to top guy. I mean, and then his emotion changed so much in that scene where he was, his bottom lip was going over his top lip, where he just started talking about these people don't scare. And the facial expressions were so good. He went from talking and trying to get information to so angry so fast. If you get a chance, and I know you probably saw it from the teasers that were out there and you saw in the episode last night, go back and watch just that one little segment. And it is some of the best acting. I know it's a little small sample size of The Walking Dead, but even if you hate Simon and what he's about to do to the Hilltop, you have to admit he did a really, really good job last night. I don't disagree, Pickles. I think Negan also did. Jeffrey Dean Morgan with Don't Touch Her and going over to get the bat. There was some great chemistry between, well, not only was there good chemistry between Rick and Negan, there was good chemistry between Simon and Dwight as well, all throughout the episode. Mr. Midnight even said that Simon smile when Rick hit Negan's car. Exactly. And he turned to the side. He couldn't contain himself, and he had to look away from Dwight. Yeah, I know a lot of people really like Negan's one-liners, but when what were some of the words he used? Simon, just his vocabulary is amazing. He's been hanging out with Eugene. But then he could have just said, you know, I'm standing here completely exposed. I've poured my heart out to you, but you didn't do the same to me. But he didn't. He just said it in a way like, my nuts are blowing in the breeze. And you have to follow what he's saying just to understand, like, okay, I get it. That's just one way to say I just opened up to you and you won't reciprocate that. Just great, great interaction between the two of them. So I got a couple more things that we're going to do in this complete recap that we're going to talk about. We've got a couple hundred people in here. Would really mean a lot if everybody in the 99 Army could get over and slap that like button. Get this thing up to, if everybody in this room right now hits that, we're going to be at 150 likes. And then when this video goes live, make sure that you're leaving comments, you're talking to people about it. We want to get as many people in our discussion as we possibly can. The more ideas, the more theories, the more predictions. It's just a great time for everybody. And also, make sure you guys join up in the Walking Dead 99 Army. That's our Facebook page as well. We'd love for you guys to hang out, and we post a lot of our videos on there. And if there is not going to be a video or stream that night, then it's a good way to notify people, because I can't always post it on YouTube if it's not going to be on YouTube. All right, everybody, let's get to a brand new topic. So I think that Carl's legacy, how is it going to affect the different characters in different ways? So Enid has pointed out to Michonne that, hey, I killed someone, I killed Natanya, and because I killed, I'm still alive. And Carl helped someone, and because he helped someone, he's dead. Great, great dialogue. And I know we're hopeful for Enid, but she's going to go through some growing pains. She can't just be out there and get in Michonne's face. So what do you think about Carl's impact, and who do you think it's going to impact next? It still has not hit Rick yet, but we've seen this used several times. We know that Sadiq is a doctor, and it's going to have a long-term impact on what he does at Hilltop. Enid is she's looking at the world in a different way. Michonne is using it as leverage. She's using it exactly. Ultra Groove. Michonne says she's in AC. She's in after Carl mode. She mentions it to Maggie, and Maggie actually uses it as well. Fills up the crates and gives away some records. Maggie says, great writing last night. I think so. The writer's been given such a hard time. So when the writers take the fall for the bad things that have happened, let's give them a little bit of credit when they do have a method and they start to bring the story back a little bit. And they do have to use that narrative. They have no choice at this point. Worth Thompson with the super chat. We are going to recap in just a little bit, Worth, but appreciate that. But you may have to watch a little bit of the playback. I'll kind of give a summary toward the end. Thank you. Epic Vids also with the super chat. And his question is, did you find Enid annoying? I heard some did. Yes, very annoying. But we're going to have to be annoyed by Enid a little bit as her character fully develops, because she's angry. She's angry. She just lost somebody. And, you know, she's there with her hand on that gun in front of Michonne's face. And Michonne is basically like, step back. I think that annoyed most everybody on the show. But it wasn't to a degree where it's permanent annoyance. It's like, I just don't understand. I don't understand why we have to do it this way. But she'll be okay. Angst, I think, might be appropriate. Texas Girl 38 wants to know, where the heck was Tara? She was digging a grave in the back that she might end up in. She wasn't. That was a bad joke. Lieutenant Crawfish says, Sadiq with medical training, was that the kiss of death? Crawfish, I think no. Because, you know, it was rumored for a while that all of Rick's girlfriends die, so Michonne could be the next. I think the buck has to stop somewhere. So just like Michonne is going to be the stopping point for Rick's significant others dying, Sadiq will be the stopping point for doctors on the show dying. I think Sadiq will be with us for a little while. Great comment, but it's got to stop somewhere. Trev Heath says best acting last night was the Naked Walker. Question for everybody. Be honest. How many people saw the Naked Walker the first time around before they showed it again on Talking Dead? I did not. You know what? At least half. You know, it's probably those of you that participate in the fan quiz. Best fan wins in 4, 3, 2, 1. What was the sign on the wall? It was eaters. Just kind of curious how perceptive everybody was. Which brings up a good question. Why are there not more Naked Walkers? That is an excellent question. But let us not get into that. Give the writers a little bit of love. They finally approached it. They're probably just trying to undo that common sense scenario. But yes, there should be a lot more. The clothes are finally old and they're finally rotting off the walkers. All right. Moving on to the next topic, and that was the fight scene. Was Rick genuinely trying to kill Negan, or just trying to tease him to a point and let the walkers eat him? Was the gunfire just meant to scare him to a degree, or did he really miss that many times? And did he really think he was going to hit him with an axe? I mean, that tomahawk thrown by Rick. Yeah, throwing the hatchet did seem a little bit of trolling, didn't it? All right. Another time, this is your feedback. So I've got a couple different comic relief questions that I want to ask. Funnier scene: Rick setting Lucille on fire and saying, "I'll let you kiss her goodbye." That's option number one. Oh, hold on. We're going to get back to that in 1 second. I don't want to get into 3 different scenarios when we got a super chat. So hold that thought, everybody. Lieutenant Crawfish with a bold, bold statement here. So this is the fish bomb. Going back to the vision, old man Rick, older Judith, same age Carl, Michonne. Does that mean Michonne will not make it? It's tough, because we could go back to the picnic table as well and sort of, we started clockwise, I guess, of who's going to die at the picnic table, and we sort of worked our way around. I don't think I can read into Carl's dream too much. Initially, when I saw that and I thought it was a vision, I thought, okay, well, Carl kind of walks past himself in his own vision. I think she's okay. I hope she's okay. So Trev, he says she does have gray streaks, but Rick got old fast. Like within a couple years, he had a stressful couple years. And Lieutenant Crawfish, I think it's one of two things. One, it could be that she dies, and we could always go back in the dream and say, okay, it's because she was in the dream. It's like the chicken and the egg. Or she doesn't die, and we say, well, it was Carl's dream, didn't really mean anything. So I won't rule it out. If she gets a bigger movie part or continues to do a lot more movies and decides to leave The Walking Dead, then we can say, okay, well, yeah, it was in her dream. Then I'll give you credit for it. Good enough. Everything means something in The Walking Dead. It's just a matter of how we want to look at it. Okay, we're going to get back to just a dream scenario. I mean it figuratively. So, funniest scene last night between Rick and Negan. Rick setting Lucille on fire just to tease Negan, and you can tell her goodbye. Or Negan telling Rick that Rick could be his janitor and that it's a one-time only sale. Or was there another scene that stood out between the two of them that you thought was even funnier? Did like that. Kel says, where Negan said, I'm a freaking cat. Yeah, what was funny about Negan's offer is it was a legitimate offer. He really believed that 25% was a good deal. But you got to get Kingdom Hilltop in order. And, oh, by the way, you're going to have to work for me and be my janitor. Yeah, Nico Bellic, and he did follow it up with saying, your people get to live like 75% kings. Yeah, that was good stuff, good interaction. It almost made me forgive, not forgive Negan, but forgive the fact that Rick's never going to be able to kill Negan. Even if he tries, he can't. All right, we got a few more minutes left in the stream. The recaps are a little longer. You guys know we try to keep on about 30 minutes, but I can't finish this episode without at least talking a little bit about Georgie. So we're going to kind of wrap up tonight with Georgie, the potential NWO. When will we see her again? When will I see you again? I wonder if that was one of the records that they put in the crate. Were you a little disappointed that Maggie and Enid immediately wanted to steal from them? Ended up taking them back to Hilltop, but they've got food in there and our people need food. Just trying to get a pulse of the crowd here. It looks like about half the people were saying yes, half the people saying no. Enid tried to validate it by saying that they're weak, they shouldn't have survived this long, and if we don't take it from them, someone else will. Social Darwinism in full effect there. A lot of people don't trust Georgie. Brings up a good question because initially there's a good reason not to trust Georgie. But do you trust Georgie now? Now that they let her go and she decided to give away her food. It's got to be a moral to it. It's a great point, Drama King. You got to start trusting some people. You know, not only was it important for Michonne to bring up Carl's situation to get to Maggie, Michonne is actually living it. And to me, that was so evident in the fact that she wanted to trust, she wanted to cut a deal, not because of what Carl said, but because of what Carl did. And I think that's going to be the bigger impact in Carl's legacy. Is, yes, you can also say it like, well, we need to do this for Carl. We need to do this. But the way Michonne and Rosita sort of behaved, you can see that they're willing to give other people the opportunity. They're not going to do it to a point where I think that they're going to get burned again, but I do think what good is it going to be? Here's why it was so important for them to work with Georgie. Honestly, how long was that food going to last? Rial says, trust but be wary. So if it's 2 weeks worth of food, your people are still starving in 2 weeks. But if you can build a relationship with someone that has something at this point, and grain silos, and aqueducts, all of those things. Now, they didn't know that that's what they had, but they better start rebuilding because food is going to run out. And if food runs out, people are going to do crazy stuff. And that was a prime example. And the last question I'm going to pose tonight, and this will be a future topic for either our channel or our 999 Dead channel, is Maggie going to the dark side? Is she the right leader for Hilltop? Or is it becoming too much, and is she becoming too dark too fast? This was also an observation from Talking Dead last night. Chosen One says yes. 1189 Paris says no. Lieutenant Crawfish says the dark side. Debbie Martin, too dark, too fast. Chris Salisbury says she's the right leader. Well, Lonnie, she seems to be. 38 bullets for 38 people. I mean, that part I don't understand. Sorry, not that I don't understand. I don't have a problem with her playing a little bit of hardball. But if she's not careful, she's not going to be Maggie anymore, and she's going to become a whole new person. And could the writers write her into a darker role? Darth Maggie. There you go, Hippo. I love it. Good point. Transitioning to a true leader, she needs a little bit of that dark side, maybe, to see both sides of it. Oh, not following in the footsteps of the governor. Just something for us to keep an eye on in future episodes and sort of have a Maggie meter. All right, everybody, this is a pretty thorough recap. We've just got a lot of stuff. Once again, I absolutely loved the episode. I thought it had the right amount of everything. It had the deceit, Simon trying to grow through the ranks. He actually played Dwight pretty hard. Dwight, when he flipped the cigarette, you knew. The whole time that cigarette, if there's anything that should have been shown in slow motion, it should have been just zoomed in so you could see the label on the cigarette and every revolution. Just slow. And then that is Dwight's fate, because when that cigarette hit, it's on fire. That's the end of Dwight. It's the end of that is the end of the leadership of the Savior. So if we pin it down to one moment, when that cigarette hit the gasoline, the Savior's combusted. Okay, there you go. We will end this with a analogy, because now Negan, Jadis, Simon, Dwight, a whole lot of stuff's going down. Negan will never be able to control Simon. So Simon's either going to leave, or they're going to be a fallout, or Jadis is going to get her revenge on Simon. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Tomorrow night we will stream at 9:30. We will have a topic that has to do with this coming up week's episode, episode number 13. Thank you once again. If you're watching the playback, this is the closing credits. If you're still here, I'm going to do the best I can to get through as many shout-outs as we possibly can. Type a quick 999, and when this video goes live, leave a lot of comments, and look for more videos soon. Wow, this is a fast 45 minutes, right? So we didn't stop at 30. We kept going. Tons of content, but it's time to look forward to episode 13. So Mambo 55. Thank you so much, Joka Wiley. Appreciate you being here. Rhonda Beckworth, Worth Thompson, Shanny D, a.k.a. Little Michonne, Beth Burgett, the Catnat, Deborah Mooney, Tammy Pickles, Lamar Lanham, Football Stuff Worldwide, Lieutenant Crawfish. I love that he changed the name. Terry Jones, Will Saint, Michelle M, Meat Grinder 3851. That's a name change too. We remember Storm. Davina Tanoya, Carol Brothers Payette, Tammy Heitzman, Tommy V. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you being here. God of Frost, Mike Blanco, Gene Atkins, Chosen 186, Triana Walker. What's up? All right. We've got a PD bomb coming to kick, so get it over to me so we can release it this week. Kelly Golan-Zinier, Brene Harp. Thank you so much, Brene. Walani, Ron Burgundy. I see you, Ron. Randall Roundtree, Gina Crockett, Scott Kernan, Chris Rainig. Still waiting to see if we're going to get that arrow, Chris. You know what, Chris? You need to be Chris the Arrow Rainig. All right, we got a brand new nickname for him. We're going to call him the Arrow. Unless you want to go by Oliver Queen. I like the Arrow. Rubelo's Channel, DDA Ohio, JBB. Thank you, Tobin McLeod. I didn't see why you're not going to be in the streams, but we'd still love you to pop in from time to time. It would be great. It's all right, Bob Joe. Thank you so much. Hippo in the house. What's up, Hippo? Armando Rodriguez. Maggie B. Thank you, Maggie. Becca Bolin. My moderators, Bree, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, the Enforcer, and also Kel. Epic Vids 8. Thank you so much. Why some more people are doing shout-outs here. I do want to thank all my Patreons. You can see a list of them over on the left side. I still got to update it. We got a couple name changes that we need to add there. And also to people that are sponsoring the channel through the sponsor button, you can see right where it says more down below in the picture. Those people have special names, custom emojis. So Wilani is there. We also got Pete D and also Vonda Martin. Thank you so much for all of my sponsors for this channel as well. Oh, Valar is not going to drop a Valar bomb. It's going to be a Valar rocket launcher. There could have been something related to Game of Thrones, right? Like a dragon bomb or something. I don't know. Yeah, we need to come up with a special saying for Valar. We'll get it. Lamont G, 5058. Thanks so much, Lamont. Appreciate you being here. Joni Tucker, Bumblebee Brown. Charlie Amos, thank you as well. If I happen to miss you in a shout-out, just make sure you guys catch me on the next video. Just a lot of shout-outs when we have these big crowds. Drama King, New York City. Thanks so much, Drama King. I'm going to hang out just a couple more seconds. I know a couple of people might be lagging with the... oh, here we go. See, I hung around and Scott threw another super chat. I knew you couldn't wait, Scott. Yes, Scott, we were going to do something with the super chats as well. And I'll have to flip it around because it does vary. But we've got really 3 different ways of support, which is just amazing. I think I'm going to take like some of the top super chatters and put them in there as well. So Patreon, you'll also see sponsors and then a list of super chatters. It's probably right above that Walking Dead 999 Army logo. Melinda Kettler, thank you so much. Oh, I like it. It's time for the Dragon Fire. What's the word? I don't know. Is it Vicaris? I probably said it wrong. Dracaris? I'm gonna Google it now. Type it. If you know the command for Dragonfire on Game of Thrones, type it up there now. That'll be our Dragonfire. That we got PD bombs, we got fish bombs, and we're gonna have a Valar bomb. Thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate you being here. All right, Gina Crockett, thank you so much. All right, everybody, I am going to close down the stream. I could hang out with you guys all night. We will do some extended streams throughout the week. You are an amazing group. So we will do this again at 9:30 tomorrow night. Make sure you subscribe, 99 Dead, 99 Spoilers for additional content. Also, like this video, and join us over on the fan page as well. We have a lot of fun with that, and there will be links directly to this channel. Peace, everybody. E-Beach, just under the radar. All right, we're going to end with that. Peace.